10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is June 28th and we've got a fairly quick episode for you all, so let's get started. We're going to start with this news that Joe shared today. He says, alright dudes, the team has been briefed so I can talk about that SSV deal I mentioned earlier. I'll do the TLDR, and if anyone wants more details I can go into that. So let's have a look at what the TLDR is. Joe says that DVT itself doesn't add much value to Rocket Pool. You know this. But what if we could have Rocket Pool nodes voluntarily register with the SSV network itself? So one, other people could create shards for their validators, so you could run one of them as part of this. You'd get some commission from them for doing it. Your node makes extra dollars for doing what it already does. Two, you could create shards of your own mini pools and farm them out to other people. People could be people you choose or randos if you're feeling lucky. So if your node dies, your validator keeps on going, but you retain ultimate authority since you have the private key and can exit or reassign your shards at any time. Obviously you would have to pay for this though, so you pay a chunk of commission for that. So either you can set it up so you are receiving people's shards and they pay you for it, or you set it up so you send out your shards to other people and then they pay you for it. And the advantage of the second one is that you have 100% uptime for your validator, which is amazing. The advantage of the first one is that you're making more money, and there might be a situation where you could do both of them. I think it's likely that you'll be able to do both of them, so you'd get 100% uptime and you'd also make a little bit of money. So this really drove on a whole lot of discussion today. People have been talking about it for the last few hours pretty much non-stop. Joe says since this is all off-chain and doesn't have anything to do with Rocket Pool, the protocol itself, it would purely be in the smart node. That reduces a lot of the contentious stuff in terms of getting it into a big update. He says there are still a few questions right now, the big one being how much demand is there even for this. So that's what we've got to answer. And then people asked a whole lot of questions, and shards for validators. I need basic definitions to understand this. Multiple nodes are testing on behalf of one another, and Joe says not exactly, more like multiple nodes vote on their attestation, and when consensus is reached they submit that attestation to the network. So if one disagrees or is offline, the validator, according to Beacon, still attests properly. Consensus on top of consensus. So it's a really nice system that will give you 100% uptime, and there's a couple of different ways of doing it, and it seems like Obol are also working on this, and they're doing the squad staking. These are all different versions of squad staking. In some versions you might get paid, in some versions you're doing it with friends where there's no money involved. So it's pretty cool like that. And then Senior says, if the entire network colludes, we have all the shards, assuming said validator only gives only our network their shards, can't we steal their ETH? And Joe says nah. Then Senior says why not? And Joe says you can get stuff slashed if you're a majority, but you can't steal any ETH, because of course the withdrawal address would still be your withdrawal address, so nothing can be stolen. It's just they could conspire to slash you. But if you're giving it out to a bunch of random people, the chances of them conspiring with each other are very low, so that's always a positive. So and then Senior says, don't shards compose a private key? And Joe says, no, not like that anyway. And then Joe says, Senior says, what are shards in this context? And Joe says, think of it like this. He says, either the beacon chain goes to the withdrawal credential addresses, the validator key can't change that. So even if the shards came together in a hostile takeover, the worst they could do is slash the validator. They can't steal funds. So eventually you need to just be able to withdraw to your validator. Anyway, this whole discussion went on for a really long time. So definitely look into it. One of the fun things that came up here was Jasper tagged Wander and Nick, and they basically this would help NodeSet a lot. So we're going to be talking about NodeSet a lot later, so I'll keep that for that. And then Wander then came into trading and talked about it, and how you can build on Rocket Pool, which is really cool, but if you add in other stuff it becomes less attractive because of how it works. And Joe says that we voted about Wanda said my vote is this is something SSV should do as an extension to the smart node. And Wanda says that we talked about it, doing it that way, and the add-ons aren't flexible enough to do what they want. It's better if it's more like an MEV boost, a first-class citizen. Wanda says, I think Patches and I both agree that it would be better to just make a real extension system so you don't have to keep doing this. Of course, that's more work for Joe. Yeah, so that is a whole long discussion that took place over the course of hours. So if you want to dive deeper into that, definitely go and start with Joe's announcement and then keep reading down. Like I said, it was a very active topic of conversation, and it might be another source of income for Rocket Pool node operators, which would be really great. Someone was saying that it might not be that much income because they think that the fees would be erased to zero or raised like low amounts. So it might be not that lucrative, but maybe initially it might be where you can add 1% or 2% or something maybe on top of your stake, which is extremely valuable. Yeah, definitely look into that. As I'll definitely cover that as we get more information about it. So then Joe says, let's ask the community whether they think this is valuable or not. So Rocknet here made a poll, and he says Joe is asking for community input on the desire for implementing DVT features, in this case SSV, into the smart node. Please indicate interest. 1, I would like to see SSV DVT features integrated with the smart node, and I'm likely to use them. 2, I have no interest in DVT and wouldn't use it. And then 3, what's DVT? So of this, there was 10 plus 2, 12, 3, 15 people answered. 10 of those said that they would like to use it and like it to be integrated. And then 2 of them said that they don't want to use it. And then 3 of them said, what's DVT? So that information there, of course, is I think a good snapshot of where we stand right now. I think a lot of people would use it if it's minimally resource intensive, but that'll be good to see. Okay, so next we have this nice landmark here, milestone reached. That's 25,000 mini pools, which is lovely to see. It's amazing that right before Atlas went live, we were at pretty much 13,000, I think. So we've doubled our node mini pool base, our validator base, in the course of like 3 months, which is absolutely remarkable. You can see that the deposits are still coming in. That's lower than I'd like. Yesterday there was only 289, but if we have a look at mini pools right here, we're now at 24,960. So once those go through the queues and the pre-launch, all that kind of stuff, then we'll be in a nice position. And this is really great here. There's this slot for vacant mini pools. It says 50. So let's have a look what's going on there. So Jasper said that this node operator converted 12 solo validators to nearly 50 Rocket Pool validators. The 400 ETH they've converted will enable 1,200 more RETH to be minted. From 12 solo validators to 1,200 RETH, that's scaling. So this was like taps into what I was saying about how solo stakers migrated to Rocket Pool is like a win-win-win. And the reason for that is because they enable so much growth for themselves. First of all, right, their rewards go up significantly by about 40% or thereabouts, depending on whether they have RPL or not. Then they help Rocket Pool scale, of course, which is really great. And then they also help decentralize Ethereum, right? Because this person bringing about 400 ETH helps you add, instead of 400 ETH of decentralization, because it's not going to places like Lido or Coinbase, you can instead add 1,600 ETH of decentralization, right? As long as you trust yourself to be providing decentralization to Ethereum, then you'll carry on providing that decentralization to Ethereum, even though you're part of Rocket Pool. So Jasper goes on to explain that this node operator here has 128 solo validators overall. That would convert to 512 LEB8s, and that would enable 12,000 RETH to be minted, which is absolutely astonishing, right? Like, that is how Rocket Pool, and Ethereum and the node operator all grow, right? Everyone wins in this situation. Marceau had a really nice response to this as well, saying, genuinely believe that enabling liquidity for market participants is net positive to Ethereum. This example illustrates it. 4,096 ETH, 128 solar validators, zero liquidity can enable 12,288 staked ETH, which can then go on and participate in DeFi or sit trustlessly in the treasury. Magic. I totally agree with that, and I think these are the kind of things that will really, help Rocket Pool grow, and Rocket Pool really help make a positive impact on Ethereum, right? Like, because people will get in because they want to do stuff with their RETH, with their staked ETH. People will get in because they want to run nodes and get that extra commission. Rocket Pool, of course, is doing it to keep Ethereum decentralized as possible, and hopefully people, in the wider spaces will start seeing the advantages of that and start coming to Rocket Pool instead of going to other places like Lido, sadly. Yeah. Okay, so this one first. Toothless here came into general and said, this is a passionate blockchain full stack engineer experienced in developing decentralized applications and smart contracts. Feel free to DM me if anyone needs developer services. So I'm not giving Toothless here a shout out. Well, I did, I guess, but the main thing I'm covering here is Maverick saying, sorry, the recent hiring round has already closed. So then he was asked by Chaos, when the announcement, and Maverick said, we talked about it in today's space. First round interviews are happening right now. So for those of you who know, the Rocket Pool protocol is hiring a new developer that will work with clients, I think, working with Joe. And Rocket Pool's also hiring someone to work in BizDev. I'm not sure of the status of that one, but hiring is already happening, like interviews are taking place, so that's really exciting, and I thought I would give that a nice cover on Rocket Fuel because we need the team to grow and do more stuff. Okay, so talking about the team doing more stuff, here we have this update from Joe saying real work at the moment involves testing rolling records, still looking good, to be honest. So rolling records here, there's a code that Joe has pasted or output from a client or his system, and says rolling records are enabled, preparing rolling manager, and then there's generation of rolling records, etc. And this is being tested, and Joe says properly checksums and deals with corrupted records on disk, starts offer if it has to. I'll likely put out a version 1.10 beta soon so people can mess around with it. Definitely one of the more complicated things I've had to do, just because of the fact that network balances and reward intervals are not synchronized. I complained about that a lot to Kane, and I think we're going to change it in Saturn. So rolling records will be a way of getting all the trees generated in on a continual basis. So when it comes to rewards time, it's all already done. It's nice and easy. There's no scrambling on the last moment. And the little tiny little bit here, the next update build might be called Saturn. I still think it should be called Little Joe, but hey, that's okay. Okay, moving on from that, we're going to move into a slightly different direction here. So Diva is a staking service, and they are announcing the Diva DAO. Now, the Diva DAO, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because it says here the TLDR is that Diva DAO is being formed with an initial distribution to 15,000 unique Ethereum stakers and ecosystem participants. DAO participants are entrusted to make on-chain decisions regarding Diva protocol's launch. So here basically, the reason why I'm covering it because Rocket Pool node operators got an airdrop of governance tokens that are non-transferable. They're soul-bound tokens for your node to your node, and there's no way to take them off that. They're valueless because there's no way to trade them, of course. And these are just governance tokens that Diva, as they're launching and as they're going through their development cycles, will be asking staking people in staking communities to kind of vote on their progress and their direction that they want the protocol to go in, because these people are seen as trusted members of the Ethereum community, and then what will happen is you can use those tokens to kind of guide Diva into the best way possible, the most decentralized, trustless, permissionless, all that kind of stuff way that you can. So that's the purpose of these tokens. So they give information about why. Well, there's a whole bunch of information here about Diva and what Diva are doing, and they were actually on an ETH staker call today as well. So there's definitely, a lot of work that's going out there. So here, distribution, it says there's a fixed total supply of 1 billion Diva tokens. The ultimate goal is to distribute the entirety of the supply to community members with a suggested target of delivering. So 10% are going to initial distribution as detailed above, 10% are going to staking foundations for research, development and promotion, 40% is going to DAO reserves, and 40% for early supporters of the project. So there's going to be a whole lot going on there, and you can dig into this and give it some attention if you are interested in that. I personally am getting Diva tokens also, so I just wanted to disclose that. Of course, there's no value attached to those at this moment in time, but I'm getting some, I think, as part of the I'm not sure which part, but I guess on top of my regular staking, they offered me some tokens as well to help with the process. I guess they see me as someone who's knowledgeable about Ethereum staking, so my voice, they're giving it weight, which is nice of them to do that. Of course, if there's any ever indication that they're trying to sway rocket fuel or anything like that, rocket fuel will always come first, and my interests and my alignments are completely open to all of you, so I'll definitely make you all aware of that. If anyone has any questions about that, I'm more than happy to answer them. I don't even know how many tokens I've been given yet, so once I get that information, I'll share that with all of you. Okay, and then there's this information, there's a link that you can go to check the tokens, and if you want to check, here it is. So it's https:/claim.diva.community API check, and then your address, and then that'll give you the info of how many tokens that you're eligible for. And here Chaos says make sure that you are using your node address that is case sensitive, so it's exactly the same with the way that it's written in Rocket Scan. So make sure that you have that information accurately, and then you'll see how many tokens you're eligible for. But it seems like everyone in the Rocket Pool community is getting some. If I was to put my cynical hat on, I'd say that this could eventually turn into some kind of vampire attack of Rocket Pool node operators. Of course, node operators are knowledgeable about staking, and they might be willing to move to Diva and invest in Diva. So if they feel like they've got an incentive to do that in the form of these tokens, eventually these version 1 tokens might be replaced by a version 2 token that has a monetary value attached to it. So definitely keep all of that stuff in mind. But I've always said in Rocket Fuel that I'm happy to cheer along any staking protocols that are promoting Ethereum decentralization, trustlessness, all of that good stuff, permissionlessness, the real values that I feel like Rocket Pool supports. I'll be happy to support them and give them shout outs, like I've given to Stakewise, even Stader on occasion, and others. This is not a competition. I don't feel like it's a competition. I think we're all here to work for the better of Ethereum, and if Diva are going to be adding to that, then I'll be happy to signal that. But it won't ever be because they're paying me or anyone is paying me. So if that happens, I will definitely make full disclosures about all of that stuff. Yeah, that section lasted quite a bit longer than I thought it was going to. Okay, next, I got this POAP today, which I was very happy about. So Shifrin sent me a code. The code is for Rocket Pool Ethereum Client Diversity, Shifrin's POAP. So it says the entire Ethereum network is exposed to risks when it heavily relies on a single execution client like Geth. It's crucial for overall stability and reliance of the Ethereum ecosystem that a diverse range of execution clients is adopted. In the month of June, the Rocket Pool community banded together to diversify execution client usage on the network. This POAP has been granted to node operators who made the commendable choice of either transitioning to or already utilizing minority clients during the month of June 2023. POAP designed by Shifrin. And of course, then there's another POAP that's designed by Dr. Doofus, and a third that is designed by Sleety. And I think those will be coming in the following days, with the raffle taking place in the first days of July, which is really exciting. here we have the POAP, which is really beautiful, and it's got number 1 right in the middle over there. But yeah, it's nice that we're getting 3 POAPs, and of course, I got the donor POAP as well, so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, moving on from RPL client diversity, we got this news from NodeSet today saying thank you to the Ethereum Foundation for the support of our project. We're proud to be Q1 2023 grant recipients. So here there's a blog post, people, like lots of people giving them congrats and saying that that's really great news. And then there's a link to the Ethereum blog here where it's got all these different categories: community and education. Then there's lots of different categories. There's consensus layer and cryptography and zero knowledge proofs, data analysis. So you can see who all the different people who've gotten any kinds of grants this quarter. If we have a look for NodeSet, you can see that they've gotten a grant under the other category, and it says organization that seeks to promote small and medium-sized professional node operators while working on enabling node operators to run validators on behalf of people. So this is really cool. I'm so proud of them that they got a grant. They're doing some really, really good work. Right now they're hiring more positions. So if you are a developer who has work with clients, consensus execution clients, and if you are able to use Docker, coding in Docker, then please reach out to Wanda or Nick, or give the NodeSet people a shout, because like I said, they're in the process of looking through applications now, so it's not too late for you to apply for that. And I think they're doing really great stuff, so I'm really happy to give shout outs to Wanda and Nick and NodeSet whenever they do cool stuff. But yeah, once again, congratulations on your grant. Okay, moving on over here. So here's Wanda talking about the hiring in trading today. He says it's just started, so nothing big yet. If you know anyone, send them our way. And I basically told them that they should hire Joe. I said, Joe, what would it take for Wanda to steal you away? They said, written confirmation from all of you that you won't come burn my house down. And I said, Wanda, Joe, I know Joe, hire him, pay him whatever he asks. So yeah, but I'm sure they're going to hire some really great people who are totally skilled and competent and hardworking. I really think NodeSet is going to do some really cool stuff. So I'm excited to see how all that goes. Okay, I'm going to finish off with this little bit of alpha that I'm really proud of that I gave out to the Rocket Pool community. So a few weeks ago on June 5th, I put out a video that was a walkthrough of the Gravita protocol and about how to interact with Gravita and all the different ways that you could interact with it. Of course, this was not a paid video. This was not a promoting video in any kind. I didn't ask the Gravita people for permission to make this video. In the video, I talked about the different ways that you can interact with Gravita and what you can do with your GRI token. So I talked about how you could take a loan, how you could deposit GRI into the stability pool, and then the third thing I talked about was how you can provide liquidity with GRI. Now, the providing liquidity with GRI part was really key here, because I talked about 2 different ways to provide liquidity with GRI. The first one was in the Curve pool. The first one was in the MAV pool, and the second one was in the Curve pool. For those of you who watched the video, I wasn't actually able to provide any liquidity in the MAV pool because it was region locking me out of the US. So I went into the Curve pool and provided liquidity there instead. Now, what happened was MAV did an airdrop today. So I put out this tweet saying, if you followed my guide for interacting with Gravita protocol and provided liquidity for your GRI and MAV, you'll be eligible for an airdrop today. Check if you got it at governance.mav/claim, and then there's a link that you can go and check out. So yeah, people actually got a really nice airdrops for this, decent value, and I'm really happy for them, because their MAV seems like it's a really strong up and coming project. So if you have a look at the token, it's kind of at 55 cents right now. So people, I know people who were given 7, 8, 9,000 MAV tokens. Some people got even more than that, which is amazing. But that basically translates to a couple of ETH, which is a very nice airdrop, right? Like, $3,000-4,000 for some people, like up to $10,000 for others. But I'm not sure of the breakdown of the full airdrop. But yeah, if you follow the instructions of my video of interacting with the Gravita protocol, hopefully it would open you up for a potential Gravita airdrop in the future. But along the way, you could have gotten this free Mav airdrop as well. So I'm going to try to keep these DeFi videos coming, because I think there's some cool projects that are being put out. Like there's Tapio Finance who are doing stuff. I want to make a video about Miso Finance, who have got version 2 coming out, and a whole bunch of other things that you might be able to interact with, and hopefully that not with the aims of airdrop hunting, but just with the aims of doing more things with your RETH or your RPL tokens. So on that note, I'm going to end today's episode, and I hope you all are having a lovely week, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.